welcome back. It is Smoking and Toasting, this radio program and podcast and video extravaganza that is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. So, is that just you refilling your glass? Is that what that is?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I love it.
You need
all
some
right.
more?
Sure. I'm not going to turn that down. Thank you. That's really, really good stuff. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this segment. We have an opportunity to talk to you about the most underrated whiskeys in the world. And we're going to do a little tasting of this repeat Imperial Brown Ale with a very high ABV. And, of course, as if all that weren't enough, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for Drinking News.
Drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news. A Florida man with one arm said he had a gator for a pet. When asked about his absent arm, he said,
I had to take my gator to the vet.
Drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news.
Cheers, y'all.
You notice the pause right after the gator to the vet line.
Yes.
I'm really working on making that the perfect pause.
The perfect pause. Yeah, it has to be just long enough, but not too long.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like in The Conga by Gloria Estefan in the Miami Sound Machine, when she says, "There's no way it's gonna stop," and you just come and take your body, baby. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're with me. I just dated myself there, I think. But those of you who are older will understand and enjoy the reference to the conga. All right, Drinking News for episode number 257. Let me remind you, those of you who are the Smoking and Toasting faithful, that Drinking News is a story that we gather from somewhere that actually happened, or at least was reported on by the legitimate news media. It's not a story from The Onion or from National Lampoon, but something that was at least thought to have really happened and achieved some level of media coverage. These are not always, although they are occasionally, stories about drinking, but they are always stories that are best consumed if you have been drinking. And we're drinking Japanese whiskey, so this works out perfectly for me. An unidentified hiker,
all right,
who may or may not have been a Florida man, ventured out to explore Mount Elbert, Colorado's highest peak, last week, and did not return by the end of the day as planned. A person who is worried about the man's safety called the authorities to report him missing. So first, emergency responders with the Lake County Search and Rescue Team in Leadville, about 100 miles southwest of Denver, called the hiker's cell phone, according to officials. The call was declined. The rescue team kept trying, but repeated calls and texts to the hiker's phone went unanswered. So a team of at least 8 launched a pair of hours-long searches, only to eventually be notified that the hiker had safely returned to the lodging location that they'd started out at by the next day. When they finally came to the lodge and located the hiker, the man told the rescuers that he was not aware they'd been looking for him, despite the fact that he was well overdue and his friends were very concerned that something bad had happened to him. The hiker told authorities that, his phone had been buzzing repeatedly, but he declined each one of the calls because they were coming from a number he did not recognize.
Thanks, spam callers.
Yeah. The incident has led the Lake County Search and Rescue Team to share a lesson for hikers. If you're overdue, according to your itinerary, and you start getting repeated calls from an unknown number, please answer the phone. It may be a team trying to confirm that you're safe, the department has said in a statement. Recent rescues by the department have included a number of hikers who had broken bones and weren't able to make their way back to their campsite, and a 75-year-old woman who was found hanging from a tree.
Oh!
Don't ask me. So if you're hiking and you're overdue and you actually have something other than AT&T and you've got service, you might want to answer the phone if it keeps ringing. It could be rescuers trying to find you. Or it could actually be that your automobile warranty is about to expire, and we all know how important that call can be. Or it might be Ann from Account Services.
It could be that someone calls you and says, hey, we'd like to rescue you, but first you have to send us your bank account information.
That's exactly right. All important calls to take, I'm just saying. And that is your
Drinking news, drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news.
cheers, y'all. I was going to try to see if the cheers, y'all, would sound any different if I took a swallow of the whiskey right before I said it.
Oh.
If it would give me any of that
Did it
gravelly
give you that whiskey voice?
Yeah, I don't know.
A little bit of that Greg Allman going on.
Yeah. Oh, Greg Allman. Yeah, that'd be good.
I read an interview with Greg Allman where to get his blues voice, he used to hang his head out of the tour bus and just start yelling at people on the way to the show.
Yeah. Hey, yo! I'm getting my whiskey voice.
That was pretty funny.
Fun times. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here for Smoking and Toasting.